Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, and record-breaking cornerback. And yeah, don't forget, 50 interceptions in 10 seasons. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. We're in the building, man. Y'all tap in, tune in tonight. If y'all don't see, if y'all haven't been around, I've been hiding up under a rock. We have been going viral, and we have been everywhere. ESPN, Yahoo News, sports, everywhere. Welcome my co-host, 2-3 Drees in the building, man. Philly's
What's
on,
up?
by
What's
way
up?
of
What's
Tampa,
up?
all that good stuff, man. Let's bring that energy tonight, man. Thursday night
Yes,
vibes,
sir.
man. I don't know what people was more disappointed about more. My comments about Mike McDaniels or the Chris Carter versus Chad Johnson comparison, man. The Dolphins fans seem very irritated about my comments when the truth is the truth. I don't know, man. What you
I don't
think,
know.
Dries?
I see a lot of people agreeing with you. Honestly, I see like a lot of people saying like, "Man, this guy not serious," and they feel the same way as you. So I don't know what you was reading, but what I saw was like a lot of people agreeing with you.
Yeah. I see all my comments and stuff on Twitter, man. Twitter
Mhm.
isn't, you can't be weak on Twitter, boy. Twitter is not built for the weak, man. Let me tell you, that is a toxic environment on Twitter. They be attacking. But tonight we're going to we're going to talk about some Shedeur Sanders. We're going to give a little more context what I meant about Mike McDaniels and the Miami Dolphins. And we have to show y'all what's going on with the Nightcap and Shannon Sharpe, including Ocho Cinco. Shout out to the chat. Full Circle 89 in the building. The truth is the truth. Yes, say what needs to be said. That's what we pride ourselves on. Spitting the truth, man, and letting y'all see a different perspective of things because everyone don't really have common sense is what I realize. What do you think, Dries? Is common sense is not too common these days, or
I
is
mean,
that the true thing?
so far, man, the season hasn't started. You caught a lot of stuff out, and a lot of stuff played out to what you said. So, I mean, we're
Yeah.
gonna see how it goes if they keep going that way. But a lot of stuff. I mean, we seen actual players that played on the team said the culture wasn't like that, and you
Yeah.
said it first. So,
Exactly. All right. So let's jump right into this thing, man. Right off the rip, Shedeur Sanders, man. The latest on Shedeur Sanders. Reports went from him being cut to if he plays well, he could be a candidate for trade. This scenario is believable. I could see it happening from the fear of Coach Prime. We all understand everyone is scared Coach Prime is going to take their job. But this Browns insider says if Shedeur Sanders plays good in this scenario, well, this scenario will go into effect. The point I want to make about this article is this article says if Shedeur plays good. To me, this sounds like there is an expectation for Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Every day there's a new video or article about Shedeur Sanders. Some articles are good and other articles just doesn't make sense. If there is an expectation for Shedeur Sanders, that means he will get more and more reps and be able to put his talent on display. Let's go, Shedeur. And it says Colorado Buffalo football legend Shedeur Sanders could be traded by the Browns under special circumstances. The sports news, Billy Haney believes that Sanders will stay with the Browns if he plays exceptionally or doesn't play at all, but could be traded if he plays just well enough to have trade value to a quarterback-needy team. If Sanders looks too good, the Browns may not want to give up on him. But if he looks just good enough, maybe a team desperate for quarterback help gives Cleveland an offer they can't refuse. What do you think about that? Wait, but I will say one thing you can't deny about Shedeur is his confidence on and off the field. Shedeur's confidence on and off the field is impeccable. The confidence Shedeur has, and how he is able to get his teammates to believe in him is exactly what the Cleveland Browns need. And they try to bring Deshaun Watson to make that happen, but that didn't turn out right? And
Mhm.
Shedeur won't be scared to make them tight throws and high percentage chances quarterbacks with confidence are lacking. You know what I mean? So that's something that the Browns need. They need someone that's going to go out there, take chances, and make big plays. What the Browns quarterback, coach, and offensive coordinator is expecting. You know?
Right.
What you got to say? What do you think?
And I believe that quarterback just not always on the field as well. I feel like off the field is being a leader, and I feel like he's not afraid to step up and be that leader and take over the team. You know what I mean? He's been in the spotlight all his life, so like putting him out there in the front lines, he'd be able to take it, not blaming nobody, take it for himself, and be able to be that quarterback that they need. And be able to lead that team to different things. So I feel like he got a chance in the NFL. That CFL stuff we talked about before, man. I think it's teams out there that will beg to have him by the time the end of training camp ends.
Yeah, we'll see. But like you said, his confidence and as Shedeur has demonstrated during OTAs, that he's not scared to take a chance and make those educated high percentage chances that other quarterbacks are scared to take, you know? And if y'all haven't seen or heard the days going around, listen to Shedeur's teammates speak on him, man, and the favor that Shedeur has from his team. Let's check it out.
Door again, and he's likes to have fun out there. Is the best I can describe it. You know, he comes on the field. We'll talk about Shedeur again, and he's likes to have fun out there. Is the best I can describe it. You know, he comes on the field and he's going up to the receivers and like thinking of celebrations to do when we score, like creating celebrations and all that, and that's awesome. It lightens up the mood. Everyone feels like, so you go in there, especially the first couple of days of minicamp, and everyone's tight, everyone's stiff, everyone's like, I can't make a mistake, I can't mistake. And he's coming up to you asking, you think he has an important question for you? He's like, hey, twin, what celebration you want to do? Yeah, all right. I like it.
You can know that.
Definitely loosens you up and makes you play a little freer.
That's that leadership, man.
Yeah, see, Shedeur has a natural love from everybody, and now his teammates will begin to vouch for him, especially when training camp starts, man. Some things you just can't coach, and what Shedeur has can't be taught or coached, man. The ability to command his team and teammates, his teammates will follow, as we can see, right? Watch when training camp begins. You will hear his teammates start raving about Shedeur's play and his personality and what he is doing on the field. Don't get caught up in the hype about Shedeur Sanders being traded when a third-round rookie has more value in a trade scenario than a fifth-round rookie, obviously. But it would be hard to convince another team to give up any top 3-round draft picks before the full season is finished for a fifth rounder. But it does sound like the Cleveland Browns plan on trading one of their 4 quarterbacks. And Joe Flacco's too old. Nobody is giving up anything for Joe Flacco, you know. And like I said, a fifth rounder doesn't make sense. So I think Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel will be trade candidates. What y'all think, man? What you think, man? Y'all talk to me, chat.
So you think even though like we know, even though that Dylan Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick and Shedeur is a 5th-round pick, we know that Shedeur is a better quarterback. So you feel like they would get more value just because he was drafted first?
Absolutely, because it's a business, right?
Mhm.
No one is really freelancing as a scout, head coach, general manager, so on and so forth. There's a system that everyone follows, and if you get away from this system, now you become like the black sheep of the NFL or your team. Now you'll be exposed and you'll be scrutinized heavily. So that means your job will be more on the line than anyone else because you decided to go away from the system and do it how you feel. And say someone goes out there and say, okay, we want Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback needy team, right? They go, they evaluate their team and they say, we need a quarterback. Shedeur Sanders' demand is pretty high, right? And before the season starts, let's say someone gives up a 3rd-round pick and trade for Shedeur Sanders. That really doesn't make sense because you just had the opportunity to draft him in the 3rd round, right? So Giving up a third-round pick for a fifth-rounder rookie really doesn't make sense. He will definitely have to go out there and play and show what he can do at least 6 weeks. I say a full season. But the whole point of this article and what we're talking about is the speculation of Shedeur playing and the expectations they have of him. I like what's going on. This means they see some good and they have high expectations for Shedeur Sanders. That's what I see out of this article. Because every day there's an article coming out about him not making it to the beginning of the season, him being traded, him being released, him going to CFL, so on and so forth. A lot of it doesn't make sense. I like to bring to light what makes sense to me. I think this is a good look because fifth rounders don't usually get the opportunity to show what they can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. He definitely getting all the coverage. When they did the rookie, when all the rookies came together, they showed like him the most. No matter if he was a first round pick, the first overall pick. Actually, he was getting more coverage than Cam Ward was there that as well. They did that whole like little rookie campaign thing they did. Yeah. I mean, they show him the most love, but half the time you forget Dylan Grave was even on the team because they talk about Shedeur so much. I mean, right. I feel like that's going to give him a good chance. And I feel what you're saying because a lot of times these GMs and all that stuff, they men. So everybody be stuck in their ways, be like, no, this is my guy. I believe in him. That's why I drafted him in the third round. I'm not giving up. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying there because a lot of times people make mistakes in their draft, but they don't want to admit they make mistakes. As men, as GMs, they would stick by that until the whole world say they did something wrong.
Right, exactly. But trading a third-round pick for a fifth-round quarterback who hasn't proven himself really won't make no sense. He can't stray away from the system. They will definitely be scrutinized. So he will definitely have to play this season with the Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns love him. He will end up being a mainstay for the Cleveland Browns. As soon as he get the opportunity to show what he can do, they didn't draft him for any reason. A lot of confusion, a lot of uncertainty right now with the Cleveland Browns, but they're trying to figure it out. There's a lot of speculation going on that the Browns, maybe drafting the quarterback in the next year's draft. And we all know that the Cleveland Browns have 2 first-round draft picks, one, by way of Jacksonville Jaguars. So Shedeur has to make every chance he get count until he moves up the ladder on the depth chart. And he has to always remember there are 32 teams watching, ready to strike at any chance, So I can't wait, man. Training camp is about to start, man. We have about 2 weeks left. Let's go Shedeur, baby. Let's go Shedeur. 2 weeks left, man. About 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Play, man. Definitely would love to see him play.
Yeah, man. Shedeur, man. Shedeur Sanders, man. Coach Prime is back in Colorado. Feeling better. Getting back moving around. He said he had a FaceTime from his son that made him feel good. So, man, shout out to the Sanders family. What the chat talking about?
Shedeur Sanders is legendary. Once he gets the opportunity, he will be ready.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% believe that, man. Once he get the opportunity, it's going to be he's going to do exceptional out there, man. As a rookie, in my opinion, man. I can't wait to see. Training camp is really getting close, man. And shoot, Browns going to have a lot of coverage because of Shedeur Sanders. It ain't going to be because of Joe Flacco, not because of Kenny Pickett. They will get a lot of coverage because of Dylan Gabriel being that he's a rookie. But all eyes will be on the Cleveland Browns because of Shedeur Sanders.
That's
and hands down, that holds some weight in itself. So, man, I can't wait to see Shedeur out there doing his thing, man. Doing his thing. All right, Mike McDaniels, man, if y'all haven't seen, man, I was getting a lot of text messages saying, man, you cussed the Dolphins out. But the truth is the truth, right? Ain't that what y'all said in the chat? Who that was said that the truth is the truth, man.
Mm-hmm. And that was 489. The truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth. Let me get into this, man. And they say, what we saying about what we talking about the Dolphins? Like you say, I be on Twitter, man, so I get a lot of hate, a lot of criticism. a lot of people just coming and going in on me, especially when you're talking about their team, right? And I'm talking about the Dolphins because I'm speaking about what I see. If y'all can't see what I see, I don't know. Y'all go check your eyes, man. Go get some glasses or something, because this is the most obvious. This is obvious. This is obvious as it possibly can be, right? And like I say, I'm on Twitter, so a lot of Dolphin supporters can't seem to understand what I'm talking about concerning their team. And let me add more context to my comments about the Miami Dolphins organization and Mike McDaniels. And my comments were, the Dolphins had no reason to trade Jalen Ramsey other than they're sensitive. There's no leadership in the Dolphins organization, Samuel said. Mike McDaniels is a pushover. Chris Greer, the general manager, has no backbone. They're running this team like a little league team. No one can stand up to their players. They're terrified of their own players, and they have no control over their players. And this is what I had to say that went viral. And I'm here to add more context to what I said, right? So let me add more context to my comments, right? When you look at the actions of Dolphin players, you can clearly see the lack of respect the players have for their coach. The Dolphins trading one of their key players on the team for a player who is less productive and trending down shows the powers that be are not concerned with winning. That's just simple. I understand dropping Jalen Ramsey's hefty guaranteed salary, but to think it's okay to swap players and the player the Dolphins traded for can't stay healthy or has close to no production in the last 2 seasons makes no sense. Listen, when I played for the Patriots, I understand why Belichick didn't want superstars on his team. They are hard to control. Superstars are hard to control because they make a lot of money. Coach Belichick's number one goal was to maintain control. In his mind, superstars were hard to deal with. So to maintain control, Belichick barely signed any superstars during free agency. We all know that. The Patriots was one of the toughest teams to become a superstar on. 20 years, how many superstars you heard? You know, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and that's about it. Maybe some more that I'm missing. Adam Vinatieri. But they're not really, only the big superstars are Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, right? And if you don't know, if you played for the Patriots, or you heard, we were taught not to talk to the media. And that basically means don't promote yourself, and promoting yourself is how most players become superstars if you're not a first, second, or third round pick. And you see when Ocho Cinco signed with the Patriots, when he signed with the Patriots, what happened to Ocho? He F around and find out. Belichick don't play that junk. You know what I mean? He found out. Belichick don't play that junk. You know? But Mike McDaniels has a tool called contract detrimental that he can use on his players to maintain control. Belichick hit me with contract detrimental a couple times during my career at the Patriots. And contract detrimental is back then basically was a maximum amount that your team could fine you. And he fined me the max. I was pissed off, right? Now I believe they can suspend players for up to 4 weeks without pay. And I believe that team, if they use that contract detrimental, you know, they have the right to void any guarantees. So there are tools you can use out there. Mike McDaniels just choose to be buddy with his team, with his players, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And the funny part about this, because the Dolphins really had a good team, and they were supposed to make a run for the Super Bowl in 2023. That was a good team, and they barely made the playoffs. Of course, Josh Allen isn't a pushover, but because Mike McDaniels is forced. Yeah, I said it. Mike McDaniels is forced to believe in Tua Tagovailoa after Chris Greer and Brian Flores couldn't get along? The Dolphins can't finish strong because they are forced to believe in Tua Tagovailoa. That's the truth. Tua complained about Brian Flores' coaching style, not realizing that's probably what he needed to be great or to be the best that he can be. Let's check him out and see what he had to say.
Explain to us the difference in practical terms between having a coach who did believe in you the way that he did and the difference between that and what was happening with Flores.
Yeah, well, to put it in simplest terms, if you woke up every morning and I told you you sucked at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. Like, you are accurate, you are the best whatever, you are this, you are that. Like, how would it make you feel listening to one or the other? You see what I'm saying? And then you hear it, regardless of what it is, the good or the bad, and you hear it more and more, you start to actually believe that. I don't care who you are. You could be the president of the United States. You have a terrible person that's telling you things that you don't want to hear or that you probably shouldn't be hearing. You're going to start to believe that about yourself. And so that's sort of like what ended up happening. And it was, I mean, it's basically been, 2 years of training that out of not just me, but, a couple of the guys as well that have been here since my rookie year all the way till now.
Drees, what you got to say about that, man? How do you feel about Tua Tagovailoa comments about Brian Flores and his new coach, Mike McDaniels, man?
This make me feel old because that's normal talk to me. Like, if you ain't doing shit right, you ain't doing shit right. Like, you can't, like, when I played and all that stuff, man, get off the field. If you like, it feel like to him, he told him like, no, you ain't shit, you ain't doing this right. And he's like, oh man, like I'm Tua, like, and then the guy come in like hyping him up, even though he making mistakes. I feel like I'm old now. I feel like an old man. I ain't gonna lie, man, because like that's the way I grew up playing sports. Like if you ain't doing your job, get off the field. Like we got somebody else to go do it better than you, and that makes you compete. That makes you better. Like iron sharpens iron. Not somebody you the best, even though like in reality you're not. Like,
right.
You gotta fight.
I got one word.
You gotta fight for every inch, man. You gotta fight for every inch.
I have one word to describe that conversation that Tua Tagovailoa is having, and that one word is soft. Soft, and it's surprising because he comes from Nick Saban. Maybe he thought when he got to the NFL things would change or something like that. But Flores, man, Brian Flores wasn't going for any of that foolishness that we hear about surrounding the Dolphins, and that's why they got rid of him. And you hear Tua bragging. You hear Tua bragging about how Mike McDaniels motivates and talks to him and his players and things like that. That's just soft talk right there. That's softness, And when you build a team like that, the team is going to be soft. And this sounds like, Tua prefers that soft coaching style, and his mentality is,
That's supposed to make you work harder, not like
exactly
down for the challenge. Like he's supposed to be like, all right, watch this. I'm gonna show up tomorrow and I'm gonna like prove you wrong. Like his mind is like, oh man, you told me I'm like, oh man, like that's what it's like he was saying. It like hurt his feelings.
And the words, and I'm sure Brian Flores' words wasn't as bad as Tua is claiming, and he's using some derogatory words. I'm sure they were more motivating, but at the same time telling you the truth and trying to make you get your head out your ass because, this is the NFL. You got to get shit going. You know what I mean? In my coaching, in my playing days from high school all the way to the NFL, I don't ever think I had a soft coach or a coach that his coaching style was soft. If I did, that coach learned how to be tough dealing with me. Simple as that. Or I taught him how to be tough because I don't like soft men, period. Me being around soft men that can't stand up for themselves or men that let other men take advantage of them, it really bothers me to my core and my heart. So a soft coach wouldn't have worked out with me, you know what I mean? But for the Dolphins, man, understand in the NFL, there's a small window for a team to win a championship. When the team has the talent to be a championship team, there's a small, very, very small window. Unless, of course, you play with the Patriots like me or the Kansas City Chiefs like a bunch of other players, and you have one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game like Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. But that window has closed for Mike McDaniels and the Miami Dolphins because we all know why. The quarterback situation and the leadership situation. And Brian Flores didn't believe in Tua like Chris Greer did. So Brian Flores had to go. Time is ticking in Miami, and this season will be no better than last season. Remember, I told y'all in 2023, after Tua Tagovailoa was going off, I said mid-season that will be Tua Tagovailoa's best season of his career. And we one season in, and we're going to see how this is going to go. What do you think? How do you feel?
I mean, another thing, when Mike McDaniels came in with like a new offense. He had everybody moving in different directions and getting to it, get the ball off. But in the NFL, everybody catch up. Like, so
Yeah,
I feel like everybody's caught up. They own to everything he's doing. So it's nothing new no more. Like when he first came, it was fresh. It was new.
Trees, that's the best thing you ever said on this podcast since you got on this goddamn
Like,
thing. Everything catches up to you in the NFL. And that's exactly what happened to Mike McDaniels. They came out 2023, moving everybody around, looking all pretty. Tua Tagovailoa throwing time and routes. I criticized him about being Mr. 1, 2, 3, let it go. And that jump was working beautifully. Tyreek Hill can't be stopped. He's the fastest man alive, the fastest man in NFL. And guess what? That stuff started to catch up with him.
Booty load, man. It's gone.
All these nice tricks, all these nice tricky plays and formations, everybody motioning and tricking the defense. Yeah. You do that one season, guess what? The NFL has a full offseason to prepare for that the next season. And I've learned that just like you said in the NFL, stuff doesn't last forever. So you have to continue to reinvent yourself, rebuild, and keep learning in the NFL. Don't think you're going to be out there and continue to do the same thing over and over and over and keep executing. Unless it's running the football and you're being physical. Physicality always wins. You know what I mean? But it is clear that Chris Greer and Mike McDaniels tried to build a star-studded team with big-name players, trading for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey. And to me, that seems like they was thinking that was the easy way to win a Super Bowl. Nope. Shannon Sharpe voice. Nope. Nope. That ain't the easy way. Nope. You got to work hard. You got to put role players on his team. And like we talk about with Belichick didn't like superstars. The superstars on Belichick team were the first rounders who are supposed to be a superstar. So you have your superstars, and then you have your role players. Mike McDaniels and Chris Greer they are trading valuable players away from the team. But trying to replace these valuable players with similar players, it's just not make sense. It clearly shows a sign that the team is throwing in the towel this season, and they really don't have a plan for the following season, unless they're getting rid of Tua Tagovailoa and drafting a new franchise quarterback. Who they traded Jalen Ramsey for Micah Fitzpatrick, Jonah Smith for Darren Walker, and I'm sure they're willing to do the same with Tyreek Hill. They already put him on the trading block and let everybody know if you want to give something up, we are willing to deal Tyreek Hill. What does this sound like to you? This sounds like a coach who can't handle his players. I'm going to trade 3 players away, or is it 2? I'm going to trade 2 players away and sign 2 players that may be not as good, just slightly not as good. It just makes no sense.
It sound like a coach last season.
Right. Sound like a coach's last season, and it sounds like a coach that is soft and he can't handle his players. You know what I mean? Listen, as a head coach, you can be a player's coach. You can be a buddy coach. You can be the coolest coach in America. But a head coach just can't be soft. It's mandatory that a head coach maintains a certain level of respect from his players and authority. Again, every player who was a starter for Belichick has a story about getting their butt cussed out by Belichick. And those stories were taken very seriously. And you hear to this day people coming out telling stories about Belichick cussing their butt out because they feel comfortable now. Back then, they was embarrassed. And they said they cried and never felt like that before in their life. Guess what happened when Belichick cussed me out? He walked past me. He got some stairs he walked past and I felt like he did this on purpose to see my reaction. Like, I promise you. So my first time getting cussed out, he asked me, where's Lake Erie and all that stuff. We was playing the Cleveland Browns. And I said, the Aria, the club, I gave the whole story about that. But after he cussed me out, and everybody was laughing at me, giggling, making jokes and things like that, right? He was walking up the stairs, and I was fuming. I was thinking, boy, I'm finna jump on his back. You know how Belichick do. He walking up the stairs, just walking right past me like he ain't say nothing. Bro, he don't know I'm from Lauderdale. He don't know that I ain't wrapped too tight. And like, he almost had a surprise for his life that day, man. I almost ruined my career. But good thing I made it through that, baby. Shout out to Bill Belichick, the Patriots, and the Kraft family, man. Appreciate everything y'all did for me, man.
Man, I just saw a clip of Mike McDaniels today. I think NFL posted it, or one of these teams posted it, where they did like a fake snap count and got Max Crosby to jump off sides. And he just on the sideline playing like, oh, I tricked him. I'm like, he's like a little kid over there. Like, He's like, we never had a play call. He's like calling that Max Crosby. Like, we never had Max Crosby looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? And that's all what you always see of him, just like not being serious, not really like, how can you take him serious as your head coach when he's out there playing on the field? You know what I mean? Like, I can't even take him serious.
You can look at him.
Yeah.
That's how life go, man. And I see Joanna in the comments talking about Belichick was testing my temperature. He didn't give me no warning. I'm not good with a pop quiz. You need to give me some time to understand what is about to happen. Don't give me no pop quiz, especially you testing my temperature with a pop quiz. No, I'm not prepared. I need time to start to think about what's about to happen. You want me to spur the moment to react? No, that's not good. But like you're saying, Mike McDaniels, him being a buddy coach, player coach, thinking he should just be the fun, fruitful guy out there with his players. He took the wrong approach. Like I said, if you win the Super Bowl in 2023, you can get away with all this foolishness after that. That was that small window that passed. Josh Allen destroyed those hopes that season. And whoever else, I forgot who, I think they lost to the Bills in the playoffs, right? But that was that opportunity. We see nothing progressing from the Miami Dolphins since 2023. After that, everything is going down. Toss the bag, give up, and we'll see how this end up going for this season for Mike McDaniels and Chris Greer and everything like that. What's the owner name for the Miami Dolphins? Stephen Ross? I think it's Stephen Ross. I don't know, man.
You ain't grow up a Dolphins fan? You from South Florida. You ain't grow up a Dolphins fan?
Man, let me tell you, you haven't heard my Dolphin story why I never liked the Dolphins. First of all, because I want to be a Dolphins fan. I want I want to cheer for the Dolphins. I'm right here. I want to be able to talk crap about them. I want to be able to talk good about them. I want to be able to put on the Dolphins jersey. I want to be able to celebrate the Dolphins. But they never get a good quarterback, a franchise quarterback. For some reason, somehow, they always screw up getting a good quarterback. And the most relevant thing that made me dislike the Dolphins was Dan Marino. I never forget. I've been a quarterback my whole life. I always studied and watched quarterbacks, and Dan Marino was one of the main quarterbacks I've watched. And the first one I knew about, basically being from South Florida. And so I went to this camp. It was out there at the Hard Rock Stadium. Back then, what was the stadium name? Joe Robbie, whatever the stadium was, way back then. I'm out there, there's a bunch of kids, and I'm on the cart, or I'm in the field, and I see Dan Marino ride past me. And I wanted the autograph. I wanted to meet him. And, like us pro athletes do, we ride past most of the kids because we can't satisfy all the kids. And yes, and he didn't stop for me. And that was the day I realized I don't want to deal with the Miami Dolphins because of Dan Marino. And yes, Dan Marino did not win the Super Bowl. So y'all can call him great, but Mr. Pick Six, I ain't gonna call him great. You got to win the Super Bowl as a quarterback when you talking to Mr. Pick Six. Hey, you see the thing about when I talk, I can talk that crap. Y'all see, people don't challenge me like other people are challenged. When you got Ryan Clark on the pivot talking crap, who is he? He shouldn't even be able to talk about greatness. He don't know what greatness is. He never even been around greatness. So for him to have an opinion on greatness, that is foolishness. You know what I mean? But that's neither here or there, man. That's my Miami Dolphins story. Why I never liked the Miami Dolphins. I'm still waiting to be a Dolphins fan. And when that day comes, y'all will be the first to know. Are the Dolphins going to end up drafting a quarterback next year in the NFL draft? That is a good question, and it is a high possibility.
They're gonna have a new coach. They're gonna have a new coach, so they probably would.
Yeah,
are they gonna have a new coach?
Well, one thing I learned, me being in the NFL, especially playing for the Patriots, that owner head coach relationship is a different type of relationship. Like, in my mind, right, Belichick, he had Mr. Kraft wrapped around his fingers. It was nothing he can do wrong in Mr. Kraft's eyes. And when a head coach gets an owner to believe in them like that, I think that is a very dangerous environment because there's no one to step in for us players when the head coach is mistreating us, and we're not being, watched out for the right way. Everybody isn't getting paid or compensated correctly. I mean, not just the players. I'm talking about the whole organization, from the trainers, the coaches, the secretaries, so on and so forth. So what I've learned, playing for the Patriots and Belichick, giving Belichick all that control was not good for the players. End up being good for the organization, as we know and I exposed because of Tom Brady. And as we seen, you can't win without Tom Brady. So he got lucky with Tom Brady. Without Tom Brady, he wouldn't been able to treat us like that, and so on and so forth. But it's all good, man. Miami Dolphins. What's Miami Dolphins records gonna? What the Miami Dolphins record gonna end up being this year? Let's make a prediction, y'all. Let me hear in the chat. What do y'all think? Any Dolphins fans out here? Right now, I'm gonna predict. They're gonna come out fighting hard. Like every team does. The first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, then some adversity and things like that is gonna come up, and then things are gonna start going downhill. So I'm gonna go and give a prediction of 9-8, a 9-8 record. That's pretty fair. Tua Tagovailoa still throwing the ball on time. They still have Tyreek Hill, but don't depend on Tyreek Hill to be there mentally, physically, and anything else past week 8 or 9, because he's a superstar, and that's how I go. I see you, John. 6-11. I like that. I see John Kennedy. 6-11 is pretty good. I can deal with 6-11 because I see what's going on. I don't know what the people can expect. I
So
don't know.
who gonna have a better record though? The Patriots or the Dolphins? They in the same division. Who had a better record?
For me, if I had to put my money on it, I'm gonna put my money on the Patriots based on what I know from Mike Vrabel, my ex-teammate, and how physical he's gonna have that team playing. They're gonna come out, run the ball, and we talked about in the last video of Chase Claypool possibly playing the tight end. He's going to use those tight ends. He's going to use two tight end sets, and he's going to make this team physical. And Drake May still needs to be developed. So you won't see him out there slinging the ball left and right. It'll be a lot of quick passes and some physical play up front from that offense. So that's going to be a close one, actually. But I'm going to take the Patriots. Although the Miami Dolphins is clearly the better team. They've been with each other longer, so on and so forth. This whole team will be dismantled after this year. The Miami Dolphins will be dismantled after this year, basically. That's the end of the story. So that's me giving more context about what I said about the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniels, Chris Greer, and the organization, about the leadership, the backbone, and all that stuff. There you go. You had more context, and you seen the video. You seen what Tua Tagovailoa had to say about Brian Flores' coaching style. And that's just soft. When you hear stuff like that, soft. One thing you learn in NFL or as a man, period, in life is you don't complain. Ain't nothing to complain about. Go get the job done. If you can't get it done that way, figure out another way to get it done. But don't sit up here as a man complain. What is that going to get you? That's going to make you end up finishing last. So I digress, baby. Moving right along. How you feeling tonight, man? Drees? Thursday night vibe?
I'm just thinking about what you said, man. Just think about the difference between the greats and the not greats. You tell a great that that's motivation. That's fuel to the fire. You tell
Imagine you told Tom Brady he don't belong here. He's not that good. Man, Tom Brady probably be sleeping in your office. He'll probably go out there and complete every pass the next day. But that's the difference. Who's going to step up to the challenge and show the haters that they're wrong? That's like me. They'd say I couldn't do this, say I couldn't do that. Coach, I want to play like this, and I promise you I'm going to do this, X, Y, and Z. Right? The pressure's on me now. I put the pressure on my back. I'm betting on myself because I'm not an idiot. I know exactly what I can do, and I'm not just out here living in some fantasy world and hoping something will happen that I can't make happen. I know I can make it happen because I'm seeing myself make it happen. A lot of people say they're betting on themselves, and they're just throwing that number out and just talking left and right. You know what I mean? So, but hey, moving right along, like I said, Shannon Sharpe, man, we have to talk about old Unc Shannon Sharpe, and he has a lot going on. He has a lot to deal with. But if y'all haven't seen or y'all haven't been around or listening to the Nightcap, what is going on with the Nightcap? What is going on with the Nightcap, y'all? What is going on? Please, y'all let me know. Because I have some thoughts that I think may be going on, right? But has anyone realized Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco have been missing from the show? And like I said, I have a theory. And it's not because of Shannon Sharpe's legal trouble. Well,
I'm thinking we're thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure him losing brand deals had a little something to do with it, but my theory is a little different, right? You know, when you lose those brand deals, especially how they was rolling, that is a lot of money they're losing. But if you notice, right, what started happening first on the Nightcap after Unc's legal trouble began, right? When it came to light, and the Nightcap was no longer advertising for brands, what happened? Ocho Cinco would miss a few days from the show, and he probably was just pursuing other opportunities. Simple as that. Miss a few days, still supporting the show like Ocho Cinco always do. Good brother. But if you don't understand, man, in this field, in this line of work, it takes up a lot of our time. And it's some hard work. And especially Ocho and they were going hard almost every night. That's not easy. That's not easy. Especially for Ocho, because is 3 hours behind us, right? So it's around 7 or 8 o'clock for when he's recording. But for Ocho, it's around 11 to 12. And that's very tough to uphold every night for that long, for that amount of time. You know what I mean? So let's check out this clip. What we got here? This is the Nightcap. And you can see, if you see to the bottom right-hand corner, last time Ocho and did the Nightcap was about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. What's your theory? Dries, what do you think?
We know we got the situation going on with the lawsuit and everything, but I think it started before that, where Ocho Cinco was going through his breakup, and then like behind his back that he signed his ex-fiance to. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
Finish what?
Shannon Sharpe signed his ex-fiance Sherelle and his girls to like a podcast deal.
You talking about his ex-fiance? Oh, yeah.
He signed up to a deal, and he like Ocho Cinco was like offended by that, and the place is like, you didn't even come to me and talk to me about signing Sherelle to this deal, and you know we going through a whole breakup. He was like, I didn't think I need to tell you. So he wasn't even being like a real friend or a partner to him. He's like, we supposed to be like, closer than that, where I'm chasing the money.
I saw that and I took it with a grain of salt. Because Ocho Cinco, you don't know when to take him serious. And yes, from the outside looking in, it looked horrible. You signing Ocho Cinco's fiance without telling him about it, and they going through some relationship issues, and you sign him to your media company, that is out of line. But I didn't really fall for that. I don't believe that happened like that. If that did, and we find out that is true, you are very foul and out of line, and you need to be dealt with, bro. You are. I hope that ain't true.
I think that's the beginning. I think that was the beginning, and then like everything else piled on after that, where it says like,
but you could be right. I'm hoping that's not true, but you could be right. You could be exactly right, because like Ocho isn't really a confrontational guy, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he still remembers and he's gonna play his cards accordingly. So if that happened, don't expect Ocho to go rah rah ha ha. He gonna handle it how he handled it. You know what I mean? And that may have been the start of issues between Ocho and Not that Ocho has an issue with him, but it's like, hey man, I'm gonna go do my own thing. You out here making me look bad, going behind my back, signing my fiance without me knowing, or without you asking for asking
how I even feel about
permission? It. Yeah, that's wild. That's some wild shit. But here, my theory is, right? My theory is Ocho Cinco decided to take some time off and get some rest while pursuing other opportunities, and that pissed Granddaddy Shannon Sharpe the hell off, right? If y'all didn't see, Shannon Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco is everywhere. He's on HBO, HBO football. I mean, he's on the show with Belichick. I mean, Ocho Cinco is loved everywhere. He shows up and show love everywhere. So he was probably pursuing other opportunities and just creating opportunities for himself. And then we had, we seen James Harrison, TJ Houshmandzadeh, and Joe Johnson, the basketball player, right? All these guys started filling in and hosting the Nightcap without Ocho and in the building. And we know thinks he is the superior of superiors, and he has that superior complex, and that's what's going on. Shannon Sharpe is demanding.
Man.
He's demanding, and I'm sure he was pissed off because Ocho wanted to take a break. But all that came after messed up. Messed up the bag and said, messed up the bag. So Ocho said, man, what you want me to do? And then after Ocho Cinco said, you know what, man, I'm taking a break and all that, got pissed off and said, man, I ain't showing up no more. The heck with this junk. Who y'all think y'all is? This is my show. Y'all cannot show up when y'all want to because I run the show.
I gotta get in my Ocho bag real quick. You know, you be having the
Get in your Ocho bag. Get in your Ocho bag, man. Get in your Ocho bag. At the end of the day, man, messed up the bag, and he messed up the bag really bad. And it's all his fault. He can't blame nobody but himself. And the least he could do is show up to the Nightcap and continue to keep the train rolling, whatever, despite whatever Ocho Cinco got going on. But guess what? He chooses not to, right? And we know, man, Shannon Sharpe is trying his hardest, or tried his hardest to keep his cool and not go off on Ocho like he usually does on the show, because he knows that will look bad. And I'm sitting right here waiting, baby. I'm sitting right here waiting. I dare you to go off on Ocho like you did before, you know what I mean? Now just quietly doesn't show up anymore on the Nightcap without giving any warning, any announcement or anything about why he isn't going to show up anymore. At least I haven't heard or seen anything. Have you, Dries? You heard or seen anything?
No, but we got some speculations out here, man. We got Joanna saying Shannon a low-key jealous out here.
Yeah, definitely I can see that. He is a sassy guy. But at the same time, Shannon Sharpe is still doing Club Shay Shay. Why isn't he doing Nightcap anymore? Because is big mad with everybody but his freaking self. He's mad with everybody but himself.
They had a whole summer tour set up, like a live show summer tour, and it all got postponed. So
yeah,
I mean they had all that lined up, and all that's canceled. So it got to be something going on.
Yeah, I seen that. I talked about that before. They canceled, the summer tour, and then they came out promoting. They got $100 million deal and things like that. I think that was bad PR. How they started reacting when they knew Shannon Sharpe's legal troubles was about to be exposed. They was very out of character. And you make everyone believe you're about to sign $100 million deal, and you know good and well you're not going to sign a $100 million deal. That looked bad in my eyes. But maybe it was a negotiation strategy that I have no clue about. But at the end of the day, none of it worked.
They were trying to make it seem like he's money hungry.
Yeah. Shannon Sharpe, man, messed up the bag.
Playing the scene. Playing the seed.
Yeah. And I'm telling y'all, man, listen to say what needs to be said. Listen, I don't have no ill will. I don't think I'm better than everybody else. I know how to be a great follower as well as a great leader. I know how to do it all. I've been through it all. And everything I've been through, I gained a lot of wisdom. I've seen a lot of people come and go. And I'm telling you, y'all listen to me. I'm telling you, listen, it pays to stay humble and be humble. I'm telling you, it pays to stay humble. Never get too high. Never get too low unless you love drama. If you love drama, you get high as you want to and be whoever you want to be. You can be the fakest cat on the world and you can act like you're superior compared to everybody else. You can do that. But when it's time to come down, that pain will be so unbearable that it will cause you to have problems you never had before. And that's just the truth. Never get too high, never get too low. Always stay right there, even. Stay even, you know? And y'all gonna always hear me continue to say that, don't say what needs to be said, because y'all have to hear the truth. You know what I mean? But, hey, we still haven't heard apologize to Ocho Cinco. When is this happening? When is this happening?
Come on, man. You already know the answer.
When is this happening? I believe this is warranted, and it needs to happen. It needs to happen. Unc needs to apologize to Ocho Cinco, and it needs to be a public apology. Just the way Unc criticized Ocho Cinco for being late, you know? And I bet Unc think he is the top dog on the Nightcap, and the whole time Ocho Cinco is the main attraction on the show, and Ocho should be treated as such. Ocho first hit the scene with I Am Athlete, and Brandon Marshall screwed that up. And let him get with Unc in the Nightcap, and they took off. Now Unc think he is the main attraction and a superstar on the show, and he is completely fooled. But that's what your superior complex will do to you. You have a superstar on the show right next to you, but the whole time you think you the superstar, and you not the superstar. You just the organizer and the reader. At the end of the day, you just the organizer and the reader. Hey, man, did anyone see what RG3 had to say? Did anybody see the latest comments about RG3?
With the cover, with Angel Reese on the cover?
Jesus Christ. And I couldn't get that one today. I mean, meaning I couldn't really do my research and understand what was really going on. But what is wrong with this guy, RG3? And then I read a little bit about it, but it's like he has to put himself right in the middle of some race situations that he know isn't going to sound and look right. Maybe he loves the giddy attention, the weird attention it brings back to him. And I don't know. Like I said, I think I said this about RG3. RG3 seemed like the guy in elementary school that got bullied and beat up every day and kept coming back. You know, like the guys that can't defend. Come on, they hit me. Let's come on. I'm ready again. That's RG3. He's going to keep coming back for more, no matter how hard you hit him. He's not going to tell the police and teachers and things like that, but he's going to keep coming, keep getting beat up because I don't know. It's like a weird attraction he loves, you know. And what he said about RG3. All that was cool. But then he tried to make it about himself. He said, what did he say? How did he say it? I'm trying not to get this wrong. But he said, and don't quote me, Angela Reese aided some of her supporters or family members or something like that. And then he started getting death threats. Man, what are you probably getting death threats because what you talking about, period. It probably don't have nothing to do with Angela Reese. It has to do with your corny takes and your terrible outlook on life. That's what that has to do with. Nobody is sending death threats because of Angela Reese aided.
Angel Reese, man.
I mean, I always say Angela Reese.
You always say Angela.
Correct me. Jeez. Let me stop saying Angela Reese. Let me stop saying
Angel Reese. Yeah.
Thank you. High five, brother. High five. Because I was going to keep going and going. I'll get in my mode. I was crunk, baby. But yeah, man, leave Angel Reese alone, man. This is the black community. Either you in this black community or you're not in this black community, brother. Let us know. We need to hear from you loud and proud, RG3. Are you in the black community or are you out of the black community? We want to know. Because a lot of us just have the skin color.
Yeah, what I saw, people were saying that, like what RG3 was saying, that people from our circle reached out to him, and they was like, no, nobody in our circle reached out to you. Right. Like, he claimed it because that never happened.
Again, is RG3 continuing to reach for attention that he shouldn't be reaching for. He's out here making these long statements and writing paragraphs after paragraph about Angel Reese, and her team is saying this stuff is not even true. What is this? What is going on? RG3, man, we got to do better. The black community asks you to leave Angel Reese alone. Can you please respect the black community's wishes, my brother? Because I know I can talk about you all day and say what needs to be said, and I can make you feel bad. I can make you feel small. But one thing I know about you, you are resilient, brother. You are going to come back and fight hard, and you're going to come back for more. You might not fight hard, but you're going to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back, brother. That's 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 what he does, man. RG3.
Man,
But
everybody in the chat, man, make sure y'all subscribing to keep it going, man. Y'all heard everything's being said that would need to be said, so make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting. We appreciate all the bear in the chat.
Yeah,
subscribe,
man.
because big things is coming. The football season about to start up. It's Thursday right now. We got 8 weeks till football season actually start up. So it's about to go up.
I was right. 2 weeks. Got 2 weeks, baby.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Y'all stay tuned. We got a special edition coming up Saturday. We got a special guest coming on. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. Y'all be ready. Gonna bring some energy. And guess what? He played for the New York Jets. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to see what he has to say about Aaron Rodgers and that team that they had a couple of years ago when Aaron Rodgers first got there, So we have a lineup coming up, man, and we feeling good, man. Say what needs to be said. Thursday night vibes. Anything else you got to talk about, Dries, before we get out of here?
And just make sure you subscribe. Y'all don't want to miss the guest that's coming up.
Oh, yeah, make sure you subscribe. But hold on. We got to give a big shout out to one of our team members, you know what I mean? Leroy. He holds it down, the editor, the producer. The man, he does it all. He get married tomorrow. Oh, Lord. I done exposed you, Leroy. You get married tomorrow, man. Hey, man, wishing them nothing but blessings. Man, that is a good thing.
I see his sister in the chat. His sister Joni in the chat. Joni Evans. That's his sister in the chat.
Oh, that's his sister.
Yep.
She about to have a new family member, new sister-in-law. Shout to the Evans family. Oh, man, nothing but blessings to everybody. I hope everybody doing good up there in Texas. I hope everybody's safe from all the craziness that was going on with the flooding and things like that. But prayers up to everyone, man. Prayers up to my boy Leroy. Hope they have a good day tomorrow. Say what needs to be said. See y'all Saturday night.